When his lovely wife killed, he searched every corner, crossed all the limit, to find those killers. The story begins with Charlie Heller in his garage, meticulously repairing a plane, a cherished birthday gift from his wife, Sarah. Charlie is a decoder for the CIA, and his love for Sarah is clear. He treasures everything she gives him. Sarah soon joins him, announcing she's heading to London for a meeting and inviting Charlie to come along. However, Charlie is swamped with CIA work and can't make it. Sarah leaves, and Charlie also departs for CIA headquarters. Upon entering the building, Charlie navigates extensive security protocols, with cameras scanning his body at every turn. He then settles at his desk and begins working. A message appears on his screen from a contact he's been communicating with for years. This person has sent more classified information, warning Charlie that this data is highly sensitive and could even cause trouble for the CIA. Charlie, however, doesn't pay much attention to the warning. He attempts to extract the encrypted data, but it proves to be more complex than expected, even for his brilliant mind. After a lunch break, Charlie returns to his desk. Sarah calls him, letting him know she's arrived in London. Charlie replies, "I know. I was tracking you," before ending the call and resuming his work. He's determined to decrypt the data, but even as night falls, he hasn't succeeded. He then heads to the main server room, where the more advanced system can help him decode the data quickly. With some effort, he deciphers it. The decoded files reveal shocking government documents. Charlie discovers that the government had recently orchestrated a drone strike, resulting in a bomb blast that killed approximately 150 people. This entire incident had been suppressed. Chief Moore, Charlie's boss, led this operation. Despite learning this unsettling truth, Charlie doesn't want to get involved. He returns home and immediately tries to call Sarah, but she doesn't answer. He sends her a message and goes to sleep. The next morning, he arrives at CIA headquarters again and finds Moore already there. Moore tells Charlie he wants to speak with him and takes him to the director's office, belonging to O'Brien. Charlie stands quietly, confused. O'Brien then informs him, "We recently received news that there was a terrorist attack in London. Terrorists infiltrated a building, took hostages, and killed them. Your wife was among the victims." Charlie is stunned, unable to believe it. They show him security footage for terrorists entering the building, systematically taking people hostage, and ultimately killing Sarah. Charlie is completely shattered. His world has been destroyed. He collects himself and returns home to find his house swarming with media looking for an interview. He wants to talk to no one. A friend helps him get inside, but Charlie can't sleep. The next day, Charlie meets with Moore and another agent named Cale. Charlie asserts that the incident is more complicated than it appears. He points out that the hotel where the attack occurred has extensive security, making it difficult for terrorists to simply walk in. Moore dismisses his concerns, saying, "You're overthinking it. We're already on this mission. We'll catch those terrorists soon. Don't worry." They send him away. Charlie goes to the airport to collect Sarah's body and her belongings. Back home, he opens her bag and finds a gift. Seeing it, he breaks down in tears. Sarah had bought it for him. Charlie's grief intensifies daily. Unable to control himself, he returns to CIA headquarters. There, he hacks into all the hotel's CCTV cameras, both inside and out, collecting all the available evidence. The following day, he presents his findings to Moore and Cale, showing them the clips. He explains how the 4 terrorists entered the hotel in a service vehicle. They were professionals, knowing how to erase fingerprints and leave no evidence. He deduces that they didn't come to kill but for a meeting that went wrong. They shot one guard and knocked out another, which triggered the security alert and brought the police. In their rush to escape, thinking they would be caught, they started taking hostages. They focused on Sarah because she was helping people escape safely. They then captured her. Charlie plays audio, revealing the terrorists screaming inside. "I have their voice samples," he says. "I matched their voices everywhere, and now I know who they are. I also did a facial analysis." He identifies the first as Mishka from Moscow, the second as Lawrence, a former South African Special Forces member, the third as a professional killer named Horst, and the fourth as a former intelligence officer named Gresham. Despite this detailed presentation, Moore and Cale show no reaction. Charlie realizes they already know about these individuals but don't want to take action. When he confronts them, they claim they are working on it, but Charlie's trust in the CIA is gone. He decides he will handle everything himself. Moore tells him he should go to a psychiatrist for therapy to recover, sending him to a therapist. But Charlie has something else entirely on his mind. The next day, Charlie successfully steals a chip and integrates it with his ID card, granting him access to the classified room. He prints out all the critical data. That night, he goes to a bar, seemingly to drink, but repeatedly glances at a specific machine. The following morning, Charlie goes directly to Moore at headquarters. He confronts Moore with all the incriminating evidence of his past actions, exposing how Moore's operations have led to the deaths of innocent people. Charlie issues a stern warning. If you don't eliminate those 4 individuals soon, I will send this data directly to the director. Then all of you will be suspended. And if you think killing me will solve everything, that would be your biggest mistake. I've already activated a dead man's switch. If I don't decrypt data in the system every 5 hours, all this information will be leaked to the world's biggest news channels. None of you will be safe. Now listen to my demands, Charlie continues. I want full CIA field training. Along with that, I need a fake passport and I need weapons. Furthermore, wherever I go, I require CIA assistance. Moore and Cale exchange glances and reluctantly agree. Charlie then exits the office and immediately vomits, the enormity of what he's done finally hitting him. Inside, Cale suggests to Moore that Charlie might be bluffing, that he hasn't activated any dead man's switch. Moore replies, Charlie is one of the smartest people in the CIA. If he's lying, we can't trust him. We have to do as he says. But first, find out how he got all that data and printed it. They begin a thorough investigation, knowing it's impossible to bring any external drives into the building or take data out. After scanning everything, they discover Charlie's master plan. He used an undetectable magnetic device. They then search his house and review security footage from various locations. They find out he visited the bar twice yesterday. When they examine the bar's footage, they see him repeatedly looking at a specific machine. As Cale approaches the machine, he finds a CD inside. They retrieve it to decode its contents. Meanwhile, Charlie arrives at a CIA training facility, where he meets Colonel Henderson, who will train him. They begin with shooting practice, but Charlie's aim is terrible. He can't hit anything, even at close range. However, when the bomb-making training starts, he proves to be an expert. His new identity has been created, and Henderson is training him to withstand torture without revealing his true self, teaching him how to consistently lie. His new passport is also printed. That night, Henderson approaches Charlie, asking, "Why are you doing all this? I know you're not a killer, and you won't be able to kill anyone." Charlie simply replies, "I want justice." Hearing this, Henderson hands him a gun and tells him to aim at his chest. Charlie can't do it and drops the gun. On the other side, the entire CIA team is working to decode the CD. Finally, they discover that Charlie did not activate a dead man's switch. In fact, he left the CD to plant a bug in their system. They trace the printout's data and find the bug hidden beneath it, realizing Charlie has been listening to all their conversations. Charlie has been one step ahead of them all along. He then discards his earpiece, no longer needing to listen to them. He knows the CIA will come after him, but he's already left, boarding a flight for London. Immediately, they send Henderson after him. But after arriving in London, Charlie goes straight to Paris, knowing that Gresham is there. He tracks her day and night, eventually finding out where she lives. That night, as she leaves, he watches a YouTube video. He then opens her door and enters her apartment. He searches the entire house, taking pictures everywhere. As he opens a drawer, he sees a gun inside. But before he can act, he realizes Gresham is returning. He quickly goes upstairs and positions himself near the stairs, ready to aim directly at her head as she approaches the door. After a moment, Gresham enters, directly in Charlie's sights. But he can't shoot. Disappointed with himself, he leaves in anger. Back in his room, as he tries to sleep, he reviews all the photos he took of Gresham's home. He notices Gresham frequently visits a hospital. After carefully examining her files, he also discovers she has a very dangerous allergy. The next day, he goes to a flower shop and buys the very flowers Gresham is allergic to. Later, Gresham arrives at the hospital for tests. Meanwhile, Charlie arrives at the hospital, carrying the very flowers Gresham is allergic to. As the doctor exits, Charlie, disguised as a doctor, enters the chamber where Gresham is. He locks the door from the outside and begins filling the room with the flowers. Gresham starts screaming as her condition rapidly deteriorates. Charlie tells her, "I know you shot my wife. Now tell me where the host is." Gresham continues to scream, her voice strained. Finally, he opens the chamber. Gresham immediately attacks him. They struggle, but Charlie eventually draws his gun, and Gresham flees. She runs, with Charlie pursuing her, gun in hand. Outside, he attempts to aim at her when Gresham collides with a car and falls. Charlie approaches her slowly, then takes her phone and runs off. Back at his temporary base, he cleans the blood from himself and packs his belongings before leaving. Meanwhile, Moore learns of Gresham's death. He knows Charlie is responsible, but O'Brien notes that the news reports indicate she died in an accident, with no mention of foul play. Charlie seeks solace in a bar, trying to forget that he has killed someone for the first time. He spots Henderson, immediately runs, and goes to a second bar. But Henderson is following him. Charlie hides in the bathroom, only to realize there's no window, trapping him. He quietly emerges and asks Henderson, "How did you find me?" Henderson replies, "I knew you must have taken Gresham's phone. I tracked it." Charlie then reveals his own phone, stating, "I've planted a bomb in the bathroom." As the bomb detonates, chaos erupts, and Charlie escapes. Henderson then realizes that Gresham's phone tracker is also no longer working. As soon as Charlie is clear, he contacts a man, the same individual he used to communicate with on the system, and arranges a cargo plane to Turkey. He has come to Turkey to finally meet this contact, whose name is Ecoline, with whom he has been exchanging information for years. He reaches a hotel and texts Ecoline's number. A man's phone rings, and he starts walking away. Then, a woman approaches and stops Charlie, inviting him outside to talk. As they walk, she reveals that she is Ecoline. She invites him into her car and, as they drive, tells him her story. "I know your wife was killed," she begins. "6 years ago, I became a hacker, but I'm not the original Ecoline. My husband was Ecoline. He was a CIA agent working undercover in the Russian agency, providing information to the CIA. He died. Everyone says he fell from a building, but the truth could be anything. Everything I do today, my husband taught me." They arrive at a deserted house. She explains, "I'm tired of running. I've been here for the past 3 years. This is the safest place." Inside, she shows him her entire system, explaining, "Whenever the Russians come here, I can delete all the data with one button." They begin working. She states, "I've done all the research. Your next target is the host. The host hires professional assassins for missions. Your second target is Lawrence. Lawrence is a car dealer, so we can use that as an excuse to buy weapons from him. And the third target is Mishka. He has a bad habit. Wherever he goes, he posts on social media, so it will be easy to track him. When they see all of Mishka's photos, they also spot a girl. After facial recognition, they discover that Mishka and the girl are currently in Spain. They then begin checking the CCTV footage of all hotels to determine which one they are staying in. Meanwhile, O'Brien goes to meet Moore. She tells him to stop sending his people after Charlie, warning, "What if they kill him?" Moore denies doing any such thing. O'Brien then begins her own work, instructing her team to track Henderson. She discovers that Henderson is also in Spain. O'Brien then sends her people after him. Charlie has also arrived at the same hotel where Mishka is staying with the girl. Observing them all day, he discovers that Mishka swims daily. The pool he uses is unique, extending like a bridge between two buildings with nothing beneath it. Charlie realizes this could be the perfect opportunity to kill Mishka easily. He starts planning and prepares a device. However, the next day, as he enters the lobby, he sees a man he recognizes. He realizes these people are following him, but he doesn't yet know that Henderson has also arrived. Ecoline sees the man and, after facial recognition, tells Charlie that a CIA agent is there. She also informs him about Henderson's presence. She tells Charlie he must abort his mission. Charlie refuses, saying, "I can't do this. I'm moving on." He reaches the pool where Mishka is swimming. Charlie confronts him, saying, "Tell me where the host is, or the pool will break, and you'll die." Mishka doesn't believe him and swims out of the pool. Charlie then presses the button. The pool shatters and Mishka falls to his death. Ecoline immediately warns him, "Henderson and the CIA agents are coming for you. Run away from here." Charlie begins to flee. Henderson almost catches him, but another agent attacks Henderson. They fight, and after a long struggle, the agent draws a gun, attempting to kill Henderson. But Henderson kills him first. Meanwhile, Moore confronts O'Brien, knowing that O'Brien also sent her people to Spain. Moore demands, "Tell me where Charlie is." O'Brien only reveals the hotel where the incident occurred. When Moore's team reviews all the footage, they spot Charlie's ear with an earpiece. They then hack everything to listen to his conversations. From the dialogue, they realize he's talking to Ecoline. But according to their records, Ecoline is a man. They immediately understand that Ecoline's wife has taken his place after his death. Now, they just need to find her. On the other hand, Charlie and Ecoline return to Turkey, hiding in the same secluded house. Ecoline had many ducks there, and when they start quacking loudly, she sits up, fearing that people have come to kill them. As they check the security camera feed, they see numerous soldiers outside. Ecoline immediately presses a button to delete all the data. They then rush out, jump into a car, and drive off. However, a drone has spotted them. They speed away as bullets rain down on their vehicle. After a while, their car crashes and Ecoline is injured. Charlie quickly moves her to the passenger seat and takes the wheel himself. He drives into the city, stopping the car in a parking lot. He kisses Ecoline's forehead, says goodbye, and leaves her there, determined to complete his mission. As soon as he's away, he contacts Lawrence, stating he needs to buy weapons. Lawrence tells him to come to Romania. After traveling for a while, Charlie arrives. He first records a video of himself and then inserts it into Berlin's CCTV footage. Seeing this, the CIA believes Charlie is in Berlin and dispatches all their agents there. Meanwhile, Lawrence arrives at the designated meeting place and sees only a phone. As he picks it up, Charlie's voice says, "Open the box next to it." Lawrence opens the box, and Charlie warns him, "Don't move. There's a bomb inside. If you move, the bomb will explode." Charlie then emerges from behind him and demands, "Tell me where the host is. If you tell me, I'll deactivate the bomb." Lawrence claims, "I don't know. He's on the beach of some sea. He always sends me messages, and then I go to him." After saying this, he throws his phone towards Charlie. Charlie takes the phone and leaves. As soon as he steps outside, a large explosion occurs, killing Lawrence. Moore immediately receives news of Lawrence's death in Romania. He realizes Charlie has tricked him again, confirming he was in Romania, not Berlin. On the other hand, Charlie has now reached his last target, the host. He decodes the information and learns about a ship on a beach. He goes to the ship and plants a bomb. He then returns to his hideout for the night. The next day, he goes back to the ship, where he is hit on the head and taken inside. When he opens his eyes, he sees the host standing before him. The host gloats, "I've seen everything. You killed everyone. But you're a coward. You didn't shoot anyone. I don't think you have the courage." Saying this, he hands Charlie a gun and challenges him, "You can kill me with this." But Charlie can't bring himself to shoot. The host and his men laugh. Suddenly, they realize their ship is moving in a different direction. They are confused. Charlie then announces, "I've hacked your entire ship. Now your ship has reached Finland. The police will be here soon to arrest you." And true to his word, all the Finnish police arrive and arrest the host. The next day, we see O'Brien at a press conference. She announces that the CIA has arrested most of its agents for misusing CIA data, meaning Moore and Cale have been arrested for causing many deaths. Just then, Henderson approaches Charlie. Charlie is initially afraid to see him. Henderson stops him and says, "I'm proud of you. The intelligence with which you've done everything ensures the CIA will never come after you. You are free. You have no charges against you. Come back home." Charlie returns. First, he visits Sarah's grave, sitting there for hours. Then he goes home and leaves in the same plane Sarah had given him as a gift, the one he was repairing at the beginning of the story. And with this, the film ends.